Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The setting is the bank, 1 o'clock. That is high noon. That is 1 p.m. This Sunday. Your Jaguars a 1.5-point favorite. Total 47 and a hook. Here comes Seattle. It's a very good football team. My advice to you is if you can get a half day on Friday, leave then. You should be in the stadium by 1 o'clock on Sunday. All right, it was a walkthrough Wednesday for the good guys. And everyone was present. Everyone was willing to go and ready to go outside of Robert Hainsey, who's nursing a hamstring. And, they pushed things back. This is a short week, a 3:50 walkthrough today. Typically, they practice at 11:40 on Wednesday. And, for the most part, they got out of this thing in a fairly good set of circumstances health-wise, right? The Brenton Strange blow is enormous. The latest on Trayvon Walker is some swelling with his wrist, but it is, dare I say, encouraging that there's an opportunity for him to play. And obviously, Jackson really struggled to get the quarterback last week, not only with no sacks, but the ability as well to not get as many pressures. Now, Ogba's had 7 in the last couple of weeks. That was good news. We also saw probably the best game yet played for Mason Smith. But this is a balanced attack that they have here in Seattle with Clint Kubiak running things offensively. Mike McDonald, a good young coach. They like to do it both in the air and on the ground. But when you think of Seattle, and this has really been the case going back to the days of Pete Carroll, it is really about their defense. This is the number 3 rushing defense in the NFL. And there's been plenty of times so far this year, even in their home opener, when they knocked off Carolina. If memory serves me correct, want to say their first 15 plays, 11 passes and 4 rushing attempts. You look at what they did last week. It was nearly 50-50. 26 rushing attempts, 25 passing attempts. In the victory, the come-from-behind one against Kansas City. Actually asked Liam Cohen about that after the game on Sunday, and that is what they would love to do, to have that, on a week-to-week basis. Realistically, that is never going to happen. I mean, very rarely you would have to be a team like Baltimore that runs the ball a tremendous amount in order to have numbers like that. I still think when it's all said and done, right, if you can get 57 to 43%, I mean, look at it right now. Let's see, 169 passing attempts so far in 5 games for Trevor Lawrence, who does have his completion percentage up over 60% for the first time. It is now 60.4%. You look at carries, 141 to 169 to 141. That is a pretty good ratio right now for this football team. But I have to believe if you think Jacksonville is going to be able to keep this thing rolling and win a football game at home against Seattle, running is going to be the biggest challenge. I think for a second consecutive week, the task is going to be put on number 16. And Jacksonville is going to have to beat the Seahawks by passing the football. Hey, look at the numbers last week. 7-9, or I shouldn't even say last week, 48 hours ago. Look at what they did. 7 of 9, if you look at Lawrence to Thomas Jr. and to Hunter. What is alarming to me was only 3 targets for Travis Hunter, and he was 3 for 3. But overall, they went 7-9 for 144 yards. Seattle lost on opening day. They gave up 17 against San Francisco. They then went into Pittsburgh and only allowed 17. They knocked off New Orleans by only giving up 13. They went to the desert and beat Arizona and only allowed 20. They were exposed last week by whom? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, passing offense, the ability also to run. I mean, the Bucky Irvin situation certainly reared its ugly head. No Mike Evans, yet they found a way to put up 35. The similarities between what is going on in Tampa and what is going on here in Jacksonville. Okay, it's not eye for an eye. It's not exact. Nothing is in and around the National Football League, but what a great case study. What a great film study to get ready for Seattle this weekend. And I think that really does favor in the chess match here a Jaguars offense against this very good Seattle defense. Again, they only allowed 21 points, and a lot of that was really measured out by the 38 that Tampa got. As I said a little bit earlier in the program, they held opponents under 20 points in their first 4 games. And Seattle, when you think of them, again, the reclamation project of Sam Darnold, certainly some brilliant young wide receivers and a very talented tailback. But I think it's all there for them. And it comes down to, I believe, you pass to score, you run to win. I'm not so sure about that this weekend. I think this is another big opportunity here for Trevor Lawrence to get things done when it comes to passing the football. As a matter of fact, let's get to number 5 right now, Dylan, if we can. I thought Liam Cohen, as always, had a very good press conference today. He said a lot of really interesting things about his respect for Seattle and, what they do well. And among that, there's no question, their ability to stop the run. Let's play number 5. Here's Liam Cohen a little bit earlier this afternoon.
Especially in the first half of games, like those guys come out and nobody's running the ball on those guys, really. Their front is so deep. They've got 8 guys up front that have played high-level football in the NFL and have all been impactful starters at some point in the National Football League at one point. So they're very active. They move a lot up front. They stunt them. They move them. They'll pressure. Their movements are very well coordinated up front, and they have good players. They have good players that have created havoc. They have definitely played on the offense's side of the line of scrimmage often this year. They don't stay blocked long on double teams. Huge challenge for us, both schematically and personnel-wise, for us to have to, move the ball and run the football effectively. We're going to need to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I really like the intangibles here. Jacksonville has proven early on this season that they are a well-coached football team. They are also a club that makes adjustments, including in-game adjustments. And I like their chances here. I mean, Seattle's going to be sore because of letting one, I'm sure that they believe, get away a weekend ago against Tampa Bay. And, I also think the logistics come into play here. This is not a fun trip going from Seattle here to Duval. Jacksonville, experienced that a week ago by heading out to San Francisco. They're going to experience that again when they go to Las Vegas, when they go to Denver, when they go to Arizona, when they go to London. I think travel is big. I've always believed that, especially when you significantly change time zones. And no question, that is the deal with Seattle. All right. Excuse me. Just a slight cough. It's nothing more than that. Okay. I don't have red eyes, though, and that's a good deal. You may. If you have red eyes, it could be as simple as an allergy. Don't scratch them, okay? I know they itch. Make an appointment with Shmunez Vision. I went in about, 6-7 weeks ago, just my normal eye examination. And I was blown away. He's like, well, you got a slight allergy here. I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel fine. Everything's great. He's like, trust me, you got a slight allergy. I'm like, okay, give me a remedy, fixed it. There's never been an issue. Now, that's just part of what they do at Shmunez Vision. You may be really concerned about your eyes, and it may be as simple as that. Remember, always at Shmunez Vision, they are going to give you the most value for your money. When you talk about surgery, whether it's laser eye surgery, okay, imagine the rest of your days having 20/20. Mike Tirico had kind of a fun time talking about 20/20 the other night in his game. Anyway, nonetheless, if you want that, and you never want to deal with looking for contacts again, or looking for your readers again, or having to take your contacts out. Or it could be far more significant. It could be something such as cataract surgery. If that is the case, make an appointment today and get with the best around that is Shmunez Vision. I had surgery on my right eye 9 years ago. Didn't think there was anything wrong. Dr. Neil Shmunez said it needs to come out. He did so the very next day. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt. Again, that's 37 years worth of experience. So make an appointment. Check them out online. Just go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and get to Shmunez Vision as well. All right, we got a lot to do. I feel like this is typically the day where you begin to turn the page on what Jacksonville did. But because it was Monday night and it's so rare to have that type of matchup, I feel like it's still lingering a little bit. Trevor Lawrence earlier today was crystal clear about the fact that they've turned the page and they have moved on. You as fans should not. You as fans should enjoy each and every moment of this, including as you're, tailgating before the start of the game coming up at 1 o'clock. So John Osher's going to join me a little bit later on the program. We're going to do it with him, no doubt about it. I've got plenty of things that I want to express on the Jaguars today. Also, I haven't touched it all on college football. Typically, we do that on Tuesday. We did not last night. Niall Lawrence Stample will join me next hour, but I have some opinions I want to share on what did occur over the weekend, primarily where I was at in God's country, where the Miami Hurricanes got up to a 28-3 lead in that contest against FSU. So that's coming up. Best way for you to join us is on the text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube. That is 1010XL Into the Night.
He flies under the radar.
You don't find this guy, he finds you.
Stealthy Hayes Carlyle
Best thing I can do is point you in the direction of his competition.
takes you behind enemy lines. Activated by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800. Or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life. And I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
When it comes to my opinion, I love dropping the hammer. I'm Hayes Carlyle. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
Jax is more than a city. Beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner, but you can extend your swim season with Surfside Pools. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% off new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. Keep the good times rolling, no matter the season. Upgrade your pool heating system now for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Hey, Jags fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's great to have you with us tomorrow night on the road. I'll give you those details coming up momentarily. Be at Palm Valley tomorrow night, which is another driver off the deck, and then a 3-wood from the Truth Tellers home out in Bartram. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but anyway. Going to be a fun show. That'll be tomorrow night, 6 to 8. We'll tell you about that. Remember, Fridays, 4 to 6 on the AM only. That'll be 10:10 during high school football season. Tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Firm. I'm going to tell you all about them in just a couple of moments. But I do want to get to Tallahassee because, I was at the game on Saturday, and it was a 7:30 start. And it was just another sensational day in God's country, right? Really until the game began, everything was about as perfect as you could ask for. And, Florida State ends up losing 28-22. They spot Miami 28-3. You're down 28-3. And Florida State is not talented to consistently play come from behind football. They were down 14-0 a week ago at Virginia, right? And in my world, that was a 28-point swing because you're going in for 14, and instead you give up 14. So you may not agree with that terminology. Again, that is simply my opinion. And let me tell you this. For the record, I am far more bothered by the loss to Virginia than I am to Miami. Miami is a better football team. Miami is a better program. Miami has stars, okay? Miami, in their game plan, was pretty simple. And, Florida State did whatever they could to try to defend themselves against the run. What happened? Their corners can't cover. And you saw a true freshman in Malachi Toney go for 2 touchdowns. You saw C.J. Daniels, a transfer, go for a couple of touchdowns. Now, I got it against Virginia, and I got it again against Miami. It sounds a little bit like this. The officials are against us. No kidding. You can blame Florida State's administration for that. You can blame the Board of Trustees for that. They whined publicly. They made a huge deal out of this publicly. And Florida State's not going to get calls. They're just not. It's about overcoming bad calls. What did the Jaguars do on Monday night? Even though the penalties were 13 for Kansas City, 4 for Jacksonville, there were 2 egregious missed pass interference calls on Parker Washington and Diami Brown. Not called. Almost game-changing calls, especially the interception, which led, as we do know, to a touchdown for Kansas City. Florida State's not able to overcome that. Okay, I don't even complain about the officiating and all that stuff in Virginia. I just let it go. I was so bothered. Opening drive. Florida State comes out and does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's a pass interference call. It's not called. But instead of regrouping, instead of manning up, they have to settle for 3 points. What happens after that? The next 7 drives. 7. Count them. 3 turnovers, 4 punts. That's how they responded. 3 turnovers, 4 punts. In this football game, Florida State caught a punt on their own 4. In this football game, Florida State went for it, 4th and 8 on their side of the field with a friggin' gadget play. Okay? You know, when you do gadgets consistently like that, you know what it says? We're not tough enough to face you one-on-one. We're not man enough to take it against you one-on-one. So let's do the clip, the quick clap, which they did, and it worked against Alabama. Let's do it here against Miami. A bad read by Tommy Castellanos, right? If Jimbo Fisher was the coach, he would have told you, well, the play would have worked. The quarterback just didn't make the right read, and Jimbo would have been correct. It's not Jimbo. It's Mike Norvell. He's not built for it, people. He's not built for it. This is year 6. He cannot handle adversity. His football team cannot handle adversity. Florida State is 1-9 in their last 10 Atlantic Coast Conference games. When they started in 92, and I was over there, Florida State went 101-9 in their first 110 Atlantic Coast conferences. Let me repeat that. They started in the ACC going 101-9. They're now 1-9 in their last 10. Mike Norvell should be fired Saturday if they lose to Pittsburgh. Here's the deal. Florida State's cheap. Florida State's broke. Florida State's homeless. They make foolish move after move after move. The new stadium's a joke. They never should have built it. They should have put the money into the team. They should have put the money into a quarterback. They should have put the money into an offensive line. They should have put the money into the program. Okay? I mean, I got 50-yard line seats, 30 rows up. It cost me, I showed you, Dylan, what it cost me, $694 for 2 tickets?
Just shy of
okay?
700.
I'll pay. I don't care. I ain't going and sitting in no damn press box. I'll pay. Money means nothing to me when it comes to entertainment. But again, before I sat down, Miami put up 28 unanswered points. Mike Norvell is 2-13 in his last 15 games against a Division I opponent. 2-13. This is Florida State. He spent his press conference today talking about how the last 2 days have been good responses as far as practice. Well, how is that different from anything you've done since you knocked off Cal in September a year ago? Again, you've lost 7 straight in 9 out of 10 against the ACC. And we're talking Wake Forest, we're talking Duke. I mean, name them. SMU. Doesn't matter who they face. They lose. Florida State can't afford to fire Mike Norvell. Their leadership is awful. They make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. They never start out and get things rolling outside of Alabama. They're going to spot teams 14 points like they did against Virginia. They're going to go into a turtle because they got a call that went against them with Miami and then give up 28 unanswered points. Mike Norvell is 7-18 without Jordan Travis. 7-18. Jordan Travis, by the way, is doing everything he can, and he actually has the right message. Spend more money. You, Florida State fans, Florida State boosters, spend more money. That's the only way this football team is going to get better. It's never going to work with Mike Norvell. And Florida State fans like, oh, we came back. We put up 22, and, if we had a little bit more time, there was what was the most damning statistic of them all? Turnovers. 3-0. Same thing with Virginia. You cannot give your opponent the football the way that Florida State consistently does week after week after week. So, he should be on the hot seat. He should be more than on the hot seat. And I get it, the media over there, they're not going to challenge Mike Norvell because they're on campus. It's their livelihood. They don't want to get on the other side of things. They've got a nice job, and they want to keep it that way. Norvell made a huge deal about not allowing the media to be a part of practice this year. And I remember every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming in telling me, oh, my God, hey, Ballou, you were wrong. Mike Norvell was right. Look at what they did against Alabama. Can you imagine if Florida State played Alabama today? What would happen? Seriously, can you imagine if, and again, you can't take that away, but that was their friggin' Super Bowl. Look at what they've done after the fact. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Because I feel like a wizard here, okay? Norvell's going to get out of this. And the way that he's going to get out of this is Thomas Castellanos is going to get hurt. Norvell has done such a bad job with quarterbacks, not named Jordan Travis, that they're going to put Sperry in, and he's not ready. Norvell screwed it up against East West, Texas A&M State. He screwed it up against Kent State. Should have played that kid every snap. Oh, no, he wanted to get the moms and dads happy and play the walk-ons and all this. He should have taken every – he's not ready. And all of a sudden, he's going to be pushed into service. Then again, knowing Norvell, he'll probably go with Brock Glenn, which is like basically saying, don't even play out the remainder of the game. You know it's going to be a loss. But that's what I envision. He gets saved by the bell because Florida State can't afford to fire him. And number two, he's going to have the convenient built-in excuse that says Thomas Castellanos got hurt. You know something about Norvell? And folks, in real time, I complained about this on a weekly basis. He's always down. They always have to come from behind. Even during the 19-game win streak, they were always coming from behind. Okay? They never put people away. They never just, outside of Alabama this year, they never just show up and play hard for 60 minutes. They get out-coached, they make awful mistakes, and they turn the freaking football over. Go back and look at that 19-game win streak. And they just barely pulled, including against Miami 2 years ago, when Florida State was clearly the better team than Miami. Absolutely the better team. Norvell never gets a lead. Norvell never puts anyone away. Folks, repeat after me. He's not built for this job. Okay? He's not. He went to the buddy system, and it failed. His recruiting is terrible. Absolutely atrocious. And you and I know he's going to get left at the altar again on signing day. It happens every single year for Florida State. I hate it for you fans. It's going to happen again. They're going to get up and they're going to leave. The money has to go to the program to buy these players. not ridiculous lazy boy leather chairs and what they've done to this stadium. They've made it an upper-class, white-collar stadium. That's not what college football is built on. College football is built on ripping off your shirt, painting your face, and screaming and making noise. Not, hey, can you bring me one of those drinks with an umbrella? No, that doesn't work in college football. That works in Jerry's World in Dallas, where they valet park, okay? Not on a college football campus. Again, Florida State screwed it up. And you're not getting calls. Florida State's administration and board of trustees, they screwed it up. How dare they want out of the ACC when they're 1-9 in their last 10 games? I mean, how dare they want out? You can't even beat the simplest of teams. Mike Norvell should be fired on Saturday. Fired if they do not beat Pittsburgh. But my alma mater is too freaking poor. And it all begins at the top. They have a terrible president. They have a terrible athletic director. They have bad board of trustees. I hate it for the fans. 10-point favorite against Pittsburgh. You know they're going to be down 10-0, 14. You know it, and I know it. There's nothing they can do about it. You know it's going to happen. Tonight's show is brought to you by the good folks at Alexander Law Practice. I hope no one out there gets injured. I really do. It would be just awful if that was the case. But unfortunately, that stuff happens all over. And if it is the case, just log on to Alexander Law Practice. Better yet, go to 400-6600, free call and a free consultation. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get an automatic call back, okay? And then you're going to get creativity, individual care about your case. Your car may be totaled, okay? You may have hospital bills. You may not be able to afford anything. Ask Rick Alexander. Okay? You'll never come out of pocket. They may do things like this depending on what your case looks like. So this is why you need to take advantage. And Rick, ever since he's made it his own practice going back to 2010, he's old school. He likes to know his clients. He likes to see happy clients at the end of his case, right? Plan the case, the strategy of the case, the competition of the case. If you are in this position and everyone is against you, go to Alexander Law Practice, or better yet, 400-6600, free call, free consultation. That is Alexander Law Practice. Plenty to do. If you would like to respond, 1010XL into the night on YouTube. Text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Hey there, Frank Frangie here. The buzz about topdressing.com on our airwaves has me excited. Well, they're now in Jacksonville, turning St. Augustine grass into golf course lushness. Look, I'm a passionate golfer. I know better aeration, that envy-worthy green, white glove care, detailed, tailored for me at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Process is going to begin shortly, and they say they can do it in a day. Look, I can't wait. Go to topdressing.com now. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com today.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account, with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
Jacksonville was built on specialists.
We be special!
Now the Special Teams Player of the Week, sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
Cam Little came up huge for the good guys under the bright lights on Monday. The young kicker was perfect on both his field goal tries as well as his extra point attempts, with his longest field goal going for 52 yards. Mighty Mouse never shrinks when the moment is big, and he's your Superior Plumbing and Pipelining Special Teams Player of the Game.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I must say, though, we did win the tailgate. The party was sensational in God's country. Always is. Always is. Good to get with my oldest daughter. There with my brother. He was there with his youngest daughter. Before we get to the Jaguars, Dylan, let's have some fun, analogy-wise, with a couple of good friends said to me separately about this loss on Saturday night. It sounded a little bit like this. We would have won if we didn't turn the ball over.
Oh, yeah.
The turnover ratio was 3-0. As I said during crosstalk, my analogy will be, well, I wouldn't be fat if I didn't eat. Do you have one?
No, I mean, there's 100 of them. You know, you could win the yard of the month if you had a good yard. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, the game, things happen throughout the game, and it changes the game. If you don't have those 3 turnovers, okay, sure, the game has changed, but that doesn't mean you win the game.
No.
There was nothing in that game that said FSU was better at Miami at this throughout the course of that game, up until the fourth quarter when it's garbage time and Miami's prevent.
Right. Yeah, Miami has far better players. Reuben Bain Jr. may be the first position player selected. I read somewhere that he had more pressures than Florida State as a team. Again, the data now, the numbers, and this involves the Jags as well, whether it's drops or pressures or whatever it is, it's turned very subjective with the more entities that are now doing it. But he is a monster. You know, obviously the Jags don't have a first-round pick, and I won't even mention the draft. This is a 4-1 team, one bad call away from being 5-0. But whoever gets Richard Bain Jr., man, he looks like Aaron Donald, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's I haven't seen a lot of college football other than, the teams around here. But he definitely looks like the best guy off the edge in college football. And I don't know if there's a guy that's even second that's close to him.
While we're on the subject, and if you want to have fun with us, because, yeah, I blew my top. But I feel so much better, man. I mean, we all need to release point. And I do it every year with Florida State. I typically do it once, maybe twice, and then I'm a tube of toothpaste. I'm done. This will be it for me, okay? If they lose Saturday at Pittsburgh, I am absolutely 100% on the train that Mike Norvell should be fired. I think he should be fired anyway. Again, he's lost 13 of his last 15 against Division I opponents. But we'll allow this season to play it out. Give us an analogy, though, on, hey, we would have won if we didn't turn the ball over. Two ways you can give us an analogy to that. Text line 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube, a lot of good folks watching 1010XL into the night. I did go back. I was out of tailgate, and I watched it, and I went back and looked at it once again. What an unbelievable performance by Florida over Texas. And I think now the most convenient question is, who do you blame most, Arch Manning or Steve Sarkisian? But they just flat out whipped them, really, in every phase of the game on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, they did. The offensive line played a hell of a lot better. The run game was there, something we haven't seen in a while. And more importantly, Dallas Wilson, his first career game, his college debut, goes off. And it seems like that was the missing piece for this offense. I know Lagway looked a lot healthier, but without Dallas Wilson, I don't know if this offense is anywhere near the same.
Yeah. 5 sacks, a 58% pressure rate. I looked at some of the grades, Pro Football Focus grades, on these Texas 5 offensive linemen. They actually used 6. The true freshman, Nick Brooks, had a 0.0 pass block grade. I mean, that's Blutowski. That is Animal House material. How do you get a 0.0? To me, that says he didn't even get a hand or shoulder pad on any one of the Florida defenders that he was going up against.
Yeah, it seemed like Texas could not run the ball. And then it seemed like every pass, Arch Manning either had somebody either having a helmet right on his chin or having somebody right around him. Almost every single pass. I think Florida had 25 pressures.
Yeah.
That was the number. That's insane.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. Philly the Godfather is usually with us tonight. That's going to be tomorrow night. Also, Tim Brando is going to join us on Thursday night. But, I mean, what a weekend for college football, right? The premier game doesn't mean a lot around here with Indiana going to Oregon, number 7 at number 3. But all of a sudden, the Red River Shootout is very important in the SEC, Oklahoma and Texas. You know who the odds-on favorite is right here today on October 8th to win the SEC?
I'd probably lean Ole Miss.
It's Alabama.
Wow.
At plus 170.
Wow.
Alabama.
I would have guessed Ole Miss 1, A&M 2, and then the list, Bama 3 probably.
Yeah, but Arkansas goes to Tennessee. Obviously, the Gators go to Texas A&M. Georgia Auburn, the oldest rivalry in the South. Everyone picking USC now over Michigan, that old classic Rose Bowl matchup. South Carolina goes to LSU. You've got Alabama. A lot of people believe that there could be an upset this weekend in Mizzou, one of the undefeated teams still remaining in college football in the SEC. Number 8 at number 14. Right now, Bama is a 3.5-point favorite. So, yes, it is a just incredible weekend for college football. It's going to be a big weekend as well with the NFL. The Jaguars, another home game. Their final one for a while. All right, they go to London. They go on the road a couple of times. So, this is a big game against Seattle. And we're going to begin to get into that as well. We're going to hear from John Osher. He's coming up at 7 o'clock. Want you to hear from Trevor Lawrence on the other side. He spoke to the media on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll play some of his comments.
Go! Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
Dogs and cats fight under the Friday night lights. Bulls Bulldogs, Andrew Jackson Tigers, 7 o'clock on 1010 a.m.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here. I always talk about the guidance, the great coaching I get with Awaken 180 weight loss. My coach Kate has given me tremendous guidance, has talked me through the process,
As a result, I lost over 100 pounds. I'm still on the maintenance program. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, for the month of October, if you call Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will get a free consultation. A free consultation during the month of October with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If you need to start your weight loss journey like I had to do something. My life was not pleasant at 317 pounds. Awaken 180 gave me my life back. If it's time for you to get involved with your weight loss, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. And in the month of October, get a free consultation with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 8, 1956, Yankees pitcher Don Larson throws the only perfect game in postseason history in Game 5 of the World Series against the Dodgers.
Celebrate every score for Duval's favorite home team this season at One Night Taco Stand. Enjoy $3.99 margaritas, and when the home team scores, free tequila shots. Dine in only during the game. Don't miss Taco Tuesday, daily lunch specials, and Top Shelf Friday, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows. One Night Taco Stand, where tacos, tequila, and touchdowns come together.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Patiently waiting on that injury report. Today was a walkthrough Wednesday for the Jaguars. The only one not spotted out there was Robert Hainsey with his hamstring. And they did work late today. They went out at 3:50. They usually do it at 11:40. Yes, Trayvon Walker was at practice. And that is encouraging. I would expect it to be limited today once it comes out. Again, the West Coast delays things a little bit. We should have it by the time we get off air. But anyway, that's the latest. Brenton Strange, as we know, is lost. And this team won a football game without Trayvon Walker, and they sorely missed him off that defensive line. I have 4 pressures by Mason Smith. Actually, Pro Football Focus did. 3 by Josh Hines-Allen, 3 by Ogba. Some people started to get on Hines-Allen again. He only has a half sack. He's paid to get sacks. He is among league leaders in pressures. He had a big-time tackle for loss He is a huge part of this. If this is a 1-4 team, I think the criticism would be ripe. It's a 4-1 team. So, yeah, the numbers are not dazzling. Again, none of these numbers are dazzling. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 2 touchdown passes to wide receivers in 5 games. I mean, it's you look at the numbers and you're like, huh? Really? This is a 4-1 team? This is a 4-1 team that was an awful call away from being 5-0. The only team in the NFL that's undefeated? Yeah. This team finds a way. Gardeck and Lloyd had 2 pressures. And then 1 apiece for Dewey, Aloakon, Lewis, Armstead, and Tyson Campbell. I said at the beginning of the show, I've always been a run and stop the run guy. You break me down, that's it. Run, stop the run. The Great Wall of Duval. I've been hollering about it for more than a decade. I want it. I want it. I think this game, it's on Trevor again. He's got to make the right passes. He has to make the right decisions. I'm going to mention this once or twice a show all week long because it is so relevant. 3 for 3 to Hunter. 4 of 6 to Thomas Jr. No drops, either one of the two. Okay? That's 7 of 9 for 144 yards. Neither one of the two have hit pay dirt. I believe that happens this weekend. Maybe not with both, but certainly one of the two. And Trevor Lawrence, I want to believe, really grew up as a professional quarterback late in this game. That final drive. He was asked about it a little bit earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of this league. Like, you got to be able to. Yeah, it felt good. You know, I took a bad sack earlier in that drive, so to be able to hit those shots down the field and kind of get us in position to where now we could actually just play regular football and get back on track was big. And we know that defense is a really good defense, a great scheme, and in those big moments, they're going to challenge you, and they're going to play some man coverage, and guys got to go win. And our guys did an awesome job of that. Obviously, BT on the sideline, and then Diami too on the other sideline. I mean, those are huge plays to set us up and get us in position to where, you know, it's not just a prayer that we score. We're actually in territory where we can, you know, call normal plays and kind of move the ball down there.
And I usually don't do back-to-back comments, but in this case I want to because I want it to lead us into John Osher, who's going to join us here in about 7 minutes. But to me, this is a mark of a leader. When he was asked time and again about Kansas City and about what that win was, instead, Trevor Lawrence had this for his response.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of this league. Like, you got to be able to, you know, move on quickly. So I've had experience with that over the past few years. And I'd say physically, obviously, you know, playing a Monday night game, it is a quicker turnaround. You lose, you know, almost 2 days. So it's just trying to take care of your bodies and get ready to go. Because, you know, today's a Wednesday and we got to prepare for Seattle, and it's really less than 2 days after our game. So that is always a little bit of a challenge, but everyone has to do it. Everybody plays Monday night games, so it's just something that comes with the territory. And obviously, you know, we got to get back as quick as possible and get a great week of preparation in for a really good Seattle team.
There you have it. They're a 1.5-point favorite. Seattle coming up Sunday at 1. We'll continue with this conversation with John Osher, who is going to join us at the top of the hour. And, you know, dealing with success. It's a totally different element. And how is this football team going to be able to handle that? That's something that I'll get into with John Osher here momentarily. Getting a lot of good responses on the analogy. We would have won if we didn't turn the ball over. Here's the 1847 who says we would have won if we had more points than them. It says, Ballou here. Here's an analogy. Would have gone to Florida if I was smart enough to get accepted. Very good. 5130. We would have won if we didn't lose. Not bad. 7239. Say what you want, Rick, but Norvell owns the state of Alabama. Okay. Got a big win earlier. No doubt about that. 93-95. Ballou. We would have won if Miami hadn't shown up.
that's the best one.
There's some good ones in here. We have no president. A horrible AD has turned a once proud athletic program into Mississippi State. One coaching hire at a time. Blind squirrel fight. Yeah, you know what? Yes. I miss the days of the late Bob Going. You know, Bernie Schleiger. It all starts at the top. I don't care. The Jaguars start with Shad Khan, and then it goes to James Gladstone and Tony Baselli. Look at the turnaround already. It starts at the top. Every single business, whether you run a small construction company or you own a massive law firm or you are in charge of a university, okay, it starts at the top. Florida State has awful leadership. Pathetic. See, Drew Weatherford is a minority owner of the Tampa Bay Rays. I can't wait for him to come out and say, we can't compete in the AL East. He's the reason why they were snubbed. He's a big reason why he was snubbed. He even admitted it. He came out and with all his crap, all his filth, all of his spewing, put Mike Norvell and that football team up against it 2 years ago. Okay? Florida State's Board of Trustees did that. That's terrible leadership. John Osher is next. The Jaguars are 4-1.
4th down and 11. Game on the line. 11 guys line up, but only one will end up the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
And there he goes.
On 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
The Friday night lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farah and Farah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Celebrating 30 years in Jacks Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, the Jaguar players have turned the page. Jaguar fans, hell no. Enjoy this up until 1 o'clock on Sunday. Let's bring in our friend John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com, on the heels of Jacksonville's 31-28 come-from-behind victory over the powerful Kansas City Chiefs. Johnny O, always a lot of fun.
Unreal night, unreal win, right, Rick? I mean, it was it was one I don't think anybody who saw it'll forget. You know, you forget some of them, but not that one.
If I had any talent at all, I would say that instead for a third consecutive week, they won a game that they would have lost a year ago. I would have come up with something else, but I don't have it. That's the way I believe.
Well, and I think the bigger picture is the fact they've done that 3 weeks in a row. If there's been a theme for me the last couple of days, it's sort of realizing this. This is what they are. And, you know, there's some imperfections. But the early part of NFL regular season, most teams are imperfect. Like if you look around, nobody's, you know, I guess the Colts blew out the Raiders, but it's close games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole idea early is get through these, and if you get through the 6th, 7th week of the season and you're 5-2 and you're still breathing, hey, you know, now let's go figure out how good we are. Let's use it, you know, as a springboard. This team wins close games. They know how to win. They don't panic. And I thought, to get to one more thought before we get going, I thought they were going to have to win that game by getting up early, running, establishing it, and then being up late so Mahomes couldn't do Mahomes thing.
Right.
The fact that they came back from 14-0, 14-7, after not playing perfectly, when everybody in the stadium was thinking, here we go again.
Oh, yeah.
Except that team. I thought that said more about the team and was better than if they had won the way that I thought they were going to have to win.
Yeah, and you know, when they scored a $1:45 to go, I'm thinking this isn't a way. There's no way they're driving the field. Now, Butker made a huge mistake there, allowing them to get the ball at the 40-yard line to begin the drive. But, you know, let's get into this. He was sacked. He had the slip six for the touchdown. But let's get to the two passes that Trevor Lawrence made, you know, one to Thomas Jr., the other to Brown, that only a few guys in the NFL can make. And Trevor made them, showing that type of ability during the biggest moment.
Yeah, and I'm with you on, okay, they only had to go 60 yards. But think about this in this perspective. Most teams, when they get the ball in their 20, they get it to the 40 at some point, and then you got to go the rest of the way, right? Teams are giving you to the 40. So I didn't think the fact that it was 60 lessened it at all. He didn't play all that great in the passing game for the first 2.5 quarters, right? Everybody saw a couple of misses. He missed some throws. But when the moment mattered, he made those throws. And, you know, they've been waiting for him to go downfield in the big moment for the first 4 or 5 games of the season. And it sort of looked on that BTJ throw, like he finally just said, you know what, blanket, I'm Trevor Lawrence, and threw the ball, threw to his talent, then did it again on the Diame play. Maybe that moment is the one where he just lets go and says, you know what, I was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. I can go make these throws. Whatever's going on pre-snap, once it's there, if I see my guy, I'm going to throw him the ball. So that doesn't mean he's going to complete every pass going forward. But in those moments, I thought those 2 throws were huge. And, maybe this is when – I don't want to say when the light goes on because that implies that he hasn't been good ever. But maybe this is what sort of gets it going and gets that confidence going.
Seattle rolls in the town, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Talking with John Osher. Of course, you can read everything from John at Jaguars.com. He is the senior writer. Yeah, that's a big part of all of this. And, I look at Seattle. They're so good against the run. And, they were exposed a little bit last week against San Francisco. This is a really good defense. And you would think that this is a game, it was 7 of 9 for 144 yards. If you look at Thomas Jr. and Hunter, a few days out, to me, that's going to be maybe the difference in this game. Is this a 300-yard, 3-touchdown, 1 interception effort where maybe Thomas Jr. or Hunter scored for the first time this season?
Yeah, I think, the Jags will still try to run. I mean, they stuck with it even the other night when it wasn't working and got some big running plays from ETN. But at some point, we've been saying for a couple weeks, I said last week, Rick, that I thought they needed a big passing play touchdown to beat them. I didn't know that would come from Devin Lloyd. But at some point, the running game is going to continue to be strong. Maybe not against Seattle for the yards. But if the offense is going to be what it needs to be, Travis Hunter, BTJ, De'Ami Brown, there has to be big plays in that. I said before the season, I thought that's what would make this team special, was the fact that they had playmakers who could score from anywhere. Well, it shows you what I know about football. The team's special, and they haven't had that.
Yeah.
But you do get the idea. Over the next 12 games, teams are going to take away the run as best they can and make Trevor beat him in the passing game. The other night, he did that with a minute left. The more consistency, the more times they can hit those big plays. The good news is we're talking about it needing to get going, and it made 2 huge plays with the Hunter play and the BTJ play.
Right.
So maybe it is starting to get going. And, BTJ is huge, but I do think if you look over the course of the season so far, over 5 games, we are starting to see moment plays from Travis Hunter. The play the other night, the pass breakup that they sort of got shafted on a little bit.
No doubt. Yep,
I don't think there's any question that Travis Hunter can play in this league.
Yep.
And that as you get more comfortable, more how to use him, I think we've only scratched the surface on what we're going to see out of the kid.
John, I got 30 seconds left. Offensive depth, it's been huge. They've now used 8 offensive linemen. If you look at Monheim and Van Lannen and Ed Oga. Now it's tight end. And, Brenton Strange is a big blow. How are they going to be able to patch this together over the next 4 weeks?
Well, I think it's cliche, but it's next man up. It's, I don't think they're necessarily going to make a move at tight end. They like Quentin Morris, what he's given them. Mutton, Hunter Long. Hunter Long's got two touchdown receptions. So I think they feel like they can win with these guys. And the offensive line, nobody's out for the season. Nobody's really even out. They're just kind of limping through and patching it together. I think they go with this bunch, grind through, and get to the bye.
John Osher, ladies and gentlemen. Again, get everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. John Osher is the senior writer. Always a lot of fun, John. Thank you.
It's fun again, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
There he goes. All right, the injury report just came out. 5 offensive linemen are on it. Robert Haynes, he didn't work today with the hamstring. He's the only one. Logan Cook had a personal day off. But if you look at the offensive line, Ezra Cleveland limited with the ankle. Chuma Edoga limited with the knee. Anton Harrison limited with the elbow. Patrick McCarry limited with the knee. Eric Murray, limited with his neck. Bayshell Tootin, limited with his shoulder. Yasir Abdullah, limited with the hamstring. Trayvon Walker, limited with the wrist. And finally, Diami Brown, limited with the shoulder. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys. Actually, 10. Logan Cook was just a personal day off. And I didn't even mention Brenton Strange, who was on the IR. So Jacksonville's a beaten-up team. That's all right. Well, we'll give you Seattle a little bit later on in the show, and we'll certainly talk more about that as we continue to move through a Wednesday right here on Into the Night.
4th and goal at the 1. They set up in the eye. When you add up the moments and break down the best, it's a hostile environment. You're left with a performance-painting, high-performance play of the game.
Up in the air, it is caught!
On 1010XL.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantley, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 8, 1956, Yankees pitcher Don Larson throws the only perfect game in postseason history in Game 5 of the World Series against the Dodgers.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teams ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Find a location near you at hurricanewings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tomorrow night, 6 to 8 over at Palm Valley. Look forward to it. Tim Brando, Philly Godfather among our guests right now. Niall Lawrence Stample, former NFL defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, won a national title for the good guys in Tallahassee, that, of course, being Florida State. I took in the game. We dominated the tailgate. And then the game began, and you know, good drive. They didn't get a call. And then before you know it, it's 28-3 Miami. How you doing?
It happened quick. I've been better. But that was a tough one. That was a really eye-opening game for me, for sure.
We talked about this a little bit last week. Admittedly, I'm wired differently, but I have a much more of a problem with the way they lost to a team like Virginia than losing to a rival like Miami, because I looked at this game. Miami's a better team. They have better players. The one against Virginia sticks to me much longer because in my world, you can't spot them 14 points with 2 turnovers. They should have beaten Virginia. How do you feel when you compare? You played against them.
Yeah, my issue with why Miami was more of an issue for me was I think that with UVA, it was more situational and more coaching specifically on certain aspects of it, whereas Miami was more of a personnel issue. When you have a personnel issue, it's something that can't be fixed with a snap of a finger. It's not something that we can go into the coaching room and say, hey, let's fix this today. We are not doing that anymore. This is something that has to be tried and true of what's going on. I know what we haven't done well in the recruiting. I know we haven't been able to go in any of the top classes, but this past game showed me that we aren't in the same realm. We don't compare, and when you have to sit there and realize that, unfortunately, we have to stack the box in order to stop the run, which I think some of our guys did well. I'm not going to be down them too bad. I think some of our guys really did good. But if we have to stack the box in order to stop the run, and then we get exposed in the pass, that means that we don't have anyone to do, and we have to sit there with our hands tied. That is a situation, unfortunately, Norvell has put us in, and it's really tough to stomach, but it was an eye-opening game again for me.
Virginia really exposed Florida State by being able to run right at them. Tony White and company, they made adjustments. They did a solid job stopping the run against the U. But as you pointed out, you have man-to-man coverage, one-on-one coverage with Daniels and Malachi Toney. They exposed Florida State's secondary for 4 touchdowns on Saturday night.
Yeah, and we weren't able to adjust because we had to make sure we accounted for the run. So when you don't have options because of personnel and we can't get ourselves out of it, what do you look to in order to substitute that? And it seems like Norvell has looked to the portal to do that, which is really difficult. We've seen it time and time again. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think that the portal very much has a place in this game, in this day and age. But the culture has to get rebuilt in order for us to develop players that are bought in. And that doesn't seem like it is the case. We had the effort. We fought. We did a lot of things that I thought was admirable in that game. I don't want to say that, but there was situations that we could not control, and we have to regain control, or else we're going to be another team in the ACC.
You know, I agree with you there. I thought last year's team at times quit. This year, they have not. They're down 14-0 against Virginia. They come back. They're down 28-3 to Miami. They put up 19 unanswered in the fourth quarter and miss on an onside kick. So, yes, they're fighting. But what I also think is crystal clear, Niall, with Pitt coming in 3 days, you can't spot teams 14 points and expect to come back and win on any given Saturday.
You cannot. You cannot. You have to play sound football. There's no way we weren't going to pay for those turnovers that we had. But as far as Tommy, I thought that he's a dog. He's a fighter. You can see it in his eyes that he wants it. He has 10 brothers and sisters. He is a person that is a fighter. He's always has been. So I'm happy that he is on our team, and I think that he can add a ton of value, as well as a lot of other players on the offense. So I'm not going to completely down them, but I would like to see us clean up and control the things that we can control more consistently. And I want to see us play a complete game come Pitt.
Yeah, and they're going to have to. Again, they're a big favorite here, 10.5 points. The matchup coming up at noon. The schedule hasn't favored them. Now, the night game certainly did against Miami, but 2 Friday night games, a 10:30 game at Stanford coming up, this one at noon. I would expect a late arriving crowd, not nearly as many this week. So all of a sudden, that home field, which you thought would be a difference if you picked them to knock off Miami, I don't think that's a factor at all Saturday at high noon.
In my perspective, I still do think it's a factor, and the reason why that is because of personnel. You have Mason for Pitt, who is now their true freshman quarterback, who's going to be coming in for their first away game. So I think, honestly, anywhere would have been a good opportunity, much less in Doak Campbell Stadium, to kind of rattle this guy. So I think it will still play in our hand, even though it is a 12 o'clock game. I think that's going to be upper hand for us.
All right. We really credited Niall Lawrence Stample, our guest. Of course, he's a business owner right here in town. Niall Lawrence Stample played on the 2013 National Championship team, also defensive coordinator or defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, and is our Florida State analyst. All right, we really credited Mike Norvell preseason after the victory at Alabama, handing the keys to Gus Malzahn, handing the keys to Tony White. Now the numbers are scary. He's 1-9 in his last 10 Atlantic Coast Conference games. He's 2-13 in his last 15 games against Division I opponents. What's going on with Coach Mike Norvell?
Norvell's got to get it together. And when you look at the personnel that we have on our team, I think that he did do a good job of bringing in, even though I wish it wasn't so heavily put on the portal, he did a good job of picking guys that can be able to push through and fight. So that's one thing that will be a little bit different this season. As far as statistically, it doesn't look good for us as far as going in this, because Norvell has historically not done well on getting themselves out of ruts. But with guys like Randy Pittman, who I want to talk about Randy Pittman.
Yeah.
He doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah,
he has been a Swiss Army knife for us. He's done so many things. He's been so reliable to where when we have a Deuce Robinson available, Pittman is that next up at this point. We are hoping in order to get the ball into his hands because he's able to make plays. He's disciplined. He can block. He could do a lot of different things that add so much value to us being able to get positive points and be able to make things happen. So I want to make sure I shout out Randy Pittman because he has been extremely fun to watch this season for sure. But outside of that, it's us making sure that we are in the best shape possible to be able to not make the mistakes and push the ball down the field effectively without kicking ourselves in the butt.
Yeah. And, you know, your circle and my circle, I'm older. I have an older circle that lived, during the dominance from 87 to 2000. Certainly the guys mostly that you speak with are a little bit younger, but I'm getting it from all directions. I'm getting it that it's going to take some time, and I'm like, it's year 6. I get the other side that says he's never going to be able to win. He's not built for it. What's your circle like? What's the message you get on a week-to-week basis when it comes to Mike Norvell in year 6?
The few that I talk to, because I talk to a lot of them, but as far as like real personal on what's going on with this is the standard has been changed. The goalpost has been moved is honestly a better analogy.
Yeah.
The goalpost has been moved. And what happens when the goalpost moves, you don't really realize that it has moved. So you end up going into a season to where you're happy in order to be able to fight at the end of a Miami game, which realistically, that's not really something that should already happen. But again, we're happy for it And you go into a situation to where you're hoping to win a conference game against Pitt. You're hoping to win it. And if you do win it, you'll be satisfied. That is the issue that we're having. Can Norvell figure it out? I hope so, because again, I think that he embodies what Florida State Seminoles really do well, and that's being intentional. That's being a good person. That's being what he says and what he represents. But you got to be a dog on that recruiting trail.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be able to bring in guys in the trenches. We cannot allow us to have more guys and DBs sitting on the bench than having guys that we're developing that can be trench quarterback getters and running back killers. We have to have that. That's got to be a thing, and that's got to be a priority for the recruiting class coming up.
Jordan Travis is going the other way on this. He's saying spend more, send more. Put the money into the program. And I happen to disagree with some of the moves they've made lately that has cost a lot of money, including the stadium. I thought the stadium was fine the way that it was. I would have put the money. I mean, they spent $4 million on Carson Beck. What did Florida State pay? $800,000 on Thomas Castellanos. Well, you see the difference in the game, and that has been something that you're going to have to deal with on a week-to-week basis. Colleges are spending money. What did you think of Jordan Travis coming out and saying it that way?
It makes sense. Jordan Travis has a really close tie to Norvell. He believes in Norvell, which if I'm him, I probably believe him in as well, because Travis made one of the biggest jumps that you've ever seen in college football. He went from being a solid, good college quarterback to being really elite. Like that jump was significant, as well as when you have a coach buy in to a point to where you have a opportunity to go to the playoffs, you're going to believe in him. And I don't blame him, because I do, again, Norvell is so intentional that if he could figure it out, he would be absolutely ideal for Florida State. So I'm still rooting for him, but history shows that it doesn't show him being able to actually get over the hump to be able to recruit in a way that will allow us to not be a regular schmegular ACC team.
Yeah. I tell you what, this game is so important to knock off Pittsburgh to kind of eliminate some of these negative numbers that have been going on, because I tell you, 4 of the last 6 are on the road. And you go to Stanford at 10:30 at night. You go to Clemson. They're going to be ready. I mean, Clemson is absolutely going to be. NC State is always a difficult place to play. We'll see how they handle things this weekend at Notre Dame. And, of course, that's the week before going to Florida, which all of a sudden 1 week, it's only been a week, but it looks like the Gators are a rejuvenated program.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough schedule. It's going to be there's nothing easy about it other than us just not turning over the ball and us just doing the job that we need to do. That's the only easy thing that I would see, is something that we can control within our own sphere. But yeah, going up against Pitt, that is our next hurdle that we have to jump. I wish it wasn't going to be as close of a game, because I do think it's going to be close, just because Pitt is a solid team, and Narduzzi historically gives Norvell a problem, and he has give Tommy a problem as well. They like to blitz. They like to do certain things that will cause issues with Gus's offense and what it is that we do. I do think that we play well in it, and I do think that we can rally, because if we do rally, we will win this game. And I think that we do, because we have the players. I think our roster looks better, at least for this particular matchup.
They're 3-2 in their last 2 weeks. They lost in overtime at West Virginia. They scored 31-24 in overtime. They scored 27 in a loss at home against Louisville, lost 34-27. Last week, they beat BC 48-7.
Yeah, and they beat him with their true freshman quarterback.
I know they did.
And you want to see what you love is being able to see their true freshman quarterback in BC instead of starting against us. Mm-hmm. So now you have film on them.
Good point.
Because one thing you hate is we would be in the film room and we're watching high school film from a quarterback that they're saying that might play, and now we're watching high school film. But it's something that you have to do, and that's something that we would have been doing this week. But instead, we're able to watch Boston and see his tendencies and see how he plays. He can run the ball. He can get jiggy in that backfield. He can get an extra yard. He can get a first down. So that's something that we're gonna have to watch out for.
Mason Heinschel is his name. He's out of Oregon. He's out of Oregon, Ohio. 33 of 45, 73.3% completion percentage, 359 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Also was run it 10 times, 28 yards. So it's a good point you make as far as film study. All right, what did we forget? Anything else you want to mention?
No, I just think us going into Pitt, The mindset has to be, let's forget last week. We have so much to play for. Norvell has so much to play for. These players do. And last year, an issue that we heard was effort and players not really trying. I don't think it was more effort than it was people pushing the boat in the same direction. You're talking about players that are from high school. They've been playing and working their behinds off since Pop Warner in order to come and play at Florida State. You think that they're now going to get on the field and not give effort? They're going to give effort, but it has to be the right effort directed in the right direction. So I think we have the leaders to do that. We are going into this field. We're going into Doak Campbell Stadium on Saturday in order to fight for what it is that these players need, and that's to go to the next level. Regardless if you can get there or not, that's what they're fighting for. And if you can have the Tommies and the Deuce Robinsons be able to pull everybody together to do that, we're going to see a good result on Saturday.
All right, tell us about NLS Cleaning. Tell us about your business right here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, NLS Cleaning, we do exterior pressure washing, we do window cleaning, interior window cleaning, paver sealing and repairs. We are here for your residential, commercial needs. Reach out to us at 904-708-8802. You can also reach out to us on our website at nlscleaning.net. And we're here to help with whatever you guys need. If you have questions about anything, reach out to us. And yeah, if it's dirty, we'll make it pretty.
Now Lawrence Stample, he is our Florida State analyst right here on 92.5 FM. Always good to see you now.
Yes, sir, Rick.
Much more to do. We roll till 8 o'clock right here on this Wednesday.
It's a coast-to-coast clash as the Bluebirds get their feathers ruffled under the Teal Thunder. This time, we're back at the bank against one of the NFC's best. Jaguars Seahawks, Sunday at 1. It's a no-fly zone at the bank on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch? From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Stick around after the sunset, and Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Come on, somebody.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, Jags fans. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here, and I just want to once again give you this very simple reminder. Wear sunscreen. If you're outside a lot, bring the screen. Put some in your truck, on your boat, in your golf bag, whatever, wherever, just use it. Please. It's hot out there, and I just want you to protect yourself. I use it like it's cool because I think it is, but what's not cool, that's skin cancer. You don't want to deal with that. Go get yourself checked out. It could save your life. Go to beachesdermatology.com and schedule your appointment today. That's beachesdermatology.com.
What was George Washington's salary when he was president?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
George Washington's annual salary as president was $25,000, about $4.5 million in today's dollars.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Football season is here, and the Hills Grill at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy our tailgate menus and drink specials every Saturday and Sunday. Join us after your round and cheer on your favorite team. That's Hidden Hills Golf Club, Monument Road.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Well, I tell you what, it's a big day. It's a short week, obviously, for the Jaguars, and I guess the biggest news today was that everyone did a 10 practice outside of Robert Hainsey. With his hamstring. They did work a little bit later today. It was a walk-through Wednesday. They got out there at 3:50 instead of 11:40. So everyone was a part of it, and that included Trayvon Walker. I will go through the injury report once again, both in Jacksonville as well as what is going on in Seattle. Someone is asking here, 2835, Ballou, why did the Jags waive Cody Schrader, then re-sign him to the active roster? Is there some strategy there? They also re-signed Ismail, a tight end, to the practice squad. Yeah, I think they like him. They want to keep him around. If you're going to re-sign him and put him on the active roster where they had a spot because you put, Brenton Strange on the injured reserve where he's out for at least 4 games, my thinking on this is that Cody Schrader is going to be a big part of special teams. Quentin Morris has been a big part of special teams. What are they going to do? Devin Lloyd is still playing some special teams. Are they going to make some changes based on snaps per game? I don't know. But, yes, there is strategy involved here. If not, they just would have let him go, or they would have put him on the practice squad, or they would have gone out and added another guy from another organization, either off the practice squad or off the street, to come in immediately and be a part of the 53. They like Cody Schrader, so, I don't expect him to get any carries. And as a matter of fact, you can even make the case that if they don't make those type of changes special teams-wise, he will be a scratch. He'll be a game day, not on the 48-man roster. Okay. 47-51, Ballou, Hainsey on the side, better than not being there at all. There's no question. And, I think Jonah Monheim and I think Wyatt Milam, I think they're a huge part of this organization moving forward. So, we'll see. I look at pressures allowed, and I'll have to look at snaps again, see if I have it here. Looking at the snap count this past weekend. Let's see here on the offensive line how many Monheim actually did get in. They don't put the offensive line on here. Wow. They go quarterback, running back. I go to Football Guys. Where do you go for snap counts? I do Pro Football Reference every once in a while as well. But, boy, that's a surprise. They omit the offensive line. So I don't know the exact amount of plays. I'll get that for you, later tomorrow. But you've had 8 offensive linemen play. And you can go back a couple of weeks ago. It was 19 snaps for Cole Van Lanner, and it was 22 for Chuma Edoga, who came in quite a bit as a third tackle or a tackle eligible in this game against Kansas City. So when you look at depth, and if you see today's injury report, okay, it's scary on the offensive line. It really is. And it's good to know that the Jaguars have gone 8 deep so far in only 5 games. And you get the feeling that that is going to happen again. Someone is going to go down. Look at the offensive line only in this injury report. Ezra Cleveland with an ankle, limited. Okay, at least the concussion has been removed. Remember, that was on the report last week. Chuma Edoga, who came in with a knee, limited. Robert Hainsey's the only one who did not practice today, again, with the hamstring. Anton Harrison, the elbow, limited. Patrick McCarry, the knee, limited. Okay, that's your offensive line. Really beaten up. Wide receiver, Diami Brown, shoulder, limited. Logan Cook got a personal day. Yasir Abdullah, the hamstring, limited. Trayvon Walker, wrist, limited. Eric Murray, neck, limited. Bashal Tootin, once again on the injury report. He's been on basically all year with his shoulder, limited. All right? Can you get all those guys ready? Can you get them all ready outside of maybe Robert Hainsey? And I spoke with him last week in the locker room at the Miller Electric Center. You know this guy wants to play. It's a hamstring. If he can't go, it's Jonah Monheim. It's a rookie. Okay? Trevor's already had how many different centers, for crying out loud? Look at the way that this has shifted ever since he has been in the league. What is this? Already his 4th different, maybe 5th different center that he has had in his career. So some pretty interesting stuff there. All right, let's look at Seattle. They're a beaten-up team. My goodness. Julian Love, a hamstring, did not participate. DeMarcus Lawrence, a quad, did not participate. 2 other linebackers, Derek Hall, an oblique, and Ernest Jones, a shoulder. Neither one of the 2 did participate. Nick Emenwuri, a safety, an ankle. He was limited today. What else defensively? Devin Witherspoon, a knee, did not participate. Tarek Wooten with a concussion. Is it Wooten or Woolen? It is Woolen. Tarek Woolen with a concussion, limited today. Offensively, Brady Russell, a fullback, full participation. And let's see here. Josh Jones, an ankle, did not participate. I didn't mention the former Alabama Crimson Tide member, Jaron Reed, because it was a day of rest where he did not participate. But several key members of the Seattle Seahawks weren't able to go today as well. So, this is relative for the league. You start getting into it at this point, and, you're going to get more and more and more as far as injuries with this football team. And you go back to the last time they made the playoffs, they were such a healthy team that year. They had lost Ben Barch, they lost Cam Late, they lost Shaq Griffin, but they had the most starts of any NFL team. And so far this year, has anyone missed a game as a starter outside of Trayvon Walker? I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't believe they've had a guy. Diami Brown missed 1 game.
Yep. Diami
Brown missed the game. I think that's it. I may be wrong. How about in the secondary?
I don't think so.
Neither do I. I think that this team has been able to stay healthy on a week-to-week basis. And, attrition is so huge. 40-42. Sounds like the Jags are going to lose a coordinator. Could be Campanile. Could be a front runner for a head coaching job. Well, that's what successful teams do. I mean, I remember being here when Kevin Gilbride left and Chris Palmer left and Dom Capers left and Dick Duran left. I mean, all of those under Tom Coughlin. That happens. Okay? If Anthony Campanile gets a head coaching job somewhere, you got to tip your cap. But the most important part of this, Cohen calls plays. Some of you really got on my ass during the offseason. I went way overboard, but I thought it was the most important part of this hire. You needed to hire a head coach who was going to call plays and remain the play caller. When they hired Doug Peterson, he called plays. He gave it up to Press Taylor. I think the worst thing you could hear with this organization would be that Liam Cohen has given up the plays to Grant Udinski. If you lose Udinski, you tip your cap. But you still have Liam Cohen as the play caller for Trevor Lawrence. Same deal here with Campanile. You got to tip your cap. These coaches all want to be a head coach. But it is so important for this relationship in year 5 for Trevor Lawrence to take this with you. You hope next year it's so advanced. You hope by 2027 it's even more advanced. And you're going to lose coaches. You're going to lose coordinators if you are a successful football team. But I wouldn't worry about that, 5 games and see if they can, hold on. They've got difficult games coming up, including this weekend against Seattle. All right, let's put our final touches on this one. Tomorrow we'll be at Palm Valley, 6 to 8. Tim Brando among our guests, the Philly Godfather, and others. That'll be tomorrow night on 92.5. Palm Valley, right under the bridge. There as you head, I guess, to Nocatee, or I guess it's a smidge past Nocatee, heading towards the Atlantic Ocean.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators pulled off the upset over the 9th-ranked Texas Longhorns Saturday with a 29-21 victory. After losing the previous 3 games, a much-needed upset win comes after the bye week. Freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson made a statement in his first game with the Gators with 6 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to
see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
No more climbing ladders or tree shopping or untangling lights. Nope. Kuhn Flowers will take care of all of this for you this fall when you schedule their holiday home decorating team. This is ET with 1010XL, and now is a good time to call Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all. They'll do it this fall.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yeah, it's tough to believe it's already coming up on 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. A very short week, and it all begins tomorrow. Baseball fans, enjoy it. Hockey fans, enjoy it, because you have NFL tomorrow night, college on Friday. What an unbelievable slate of games on Saturday, and then, of course, Sunday at the bank. Your last opportunity for quite some time here with the Jags going out on the road, including to London. They're currently a 1.5-point favorite, and the total, 47.5 against Seattle. That's high. It really is. I mean, Seattle's a good defense. They give up 38 last week to Tampa Bay, but they have played some good defense this year. There's no question about that.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Packer Nation is here. You run, you stop the run. The Jaguars have been committed to that, although in some games they've really started off pass heavy and balanced it out. They'll try to do that against Seattle, who's third in the NFL against the run. I think this game is all about the way it ended on Monday night. I really believe, Hack, that if Jacksonville wins this football game, it's Travis Hunter, it's Brian Thomas Jr., it's Diami Brown, it's passing the football.
Yeah, I agree. The Seattle pass defense left a lot to be desired last week. Baker Mayfield kind of tore them apart. Keep in mind, there was no Mike Evans in that game for Tampa, and they still tore them apart. And Seattle is an injured football team. I mean, they lost 5 defensive starters at parts of that game on Sunday. None of those guys practiced today. Now, talking to people up in Seattle, I think 2 of the 5 are probably definitely going to miss the game. The other 3 are more in the questionable status. So they will be without some defensive starters on Sunday. We'll see what the availability of Robert Hainsey is. We know Brenton Strange is on IR. But I'll tell you this, Rick, for 5 weeks in, all things considered around the league, even with Brenton Strange being on IR, the Jaguars are a pretty healthy football team 5 weeks into the year.
Yeah, it was a little bit misleading tonight, getting, outside of Hainsey, who didn't work. Everyone else did, but you have 5 offensive linemen on the injury report right now for the Jags.
And I think, we got to be careful here, obviously, with what we say, but guys with limited participation are going to play. Most of those guys are going to play. They have to say, well, they sat out portions of practice. Sure. But last week's a prime example. I mean, how many guys were limited in practice last week leading into Kansas City? Almost every one of those guys played. If you're limited on Wednesday, barring a setback, odds are you're going to be good to go for Sunday.
Yeah, and Strange went out so early in the second quarter that, a ton of snaps for Long and Munt, and even today Liam Cohen singled out Quentin Morris. How about the offensive line? You're 5 games in. You've already used 8 guys. Mm-hmm. And Van Lanen, Monheim, and Ed Oga have given you some significant snaps, replacing the 5 starters. It's pretty rare to be 5 games in and have 8 offensive linemen that have already played.
I mean, I know you and I talked about this briefly last night, but I go back to that final drive on Monday night, a game-winning drive, and you had 2 7th-round picks, including Jonah Monheim at center, playing big roles in that game. Jonah Monheim going one-on-one with Chris Jones at times during that drive on Monday Night Football in the fourth quarter. I had the opportunity to catch up one-on-one with Jonah Monheim earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. We'll play that conversation coming up here on Hacker After Dark tonight. A confident young man, and I am a Jonah Monheim fan.
I am, too. He's an interesting character. Him and Wyatt Milam as well. I mean, they're both a huge part of this future. Yeah, Chris Jones deleted all his social media after the Kansas City fans rightfully got on him. He totally quit on that Trevor Lawrence touchdown.
Yeah, and people were trying to defend him, saying, well, maybe he thought the play was dead. Are you kidding me? I mean, and I know, Cowherd is another guy. He was defending him, and Cowherd is Colin is taken up for the Kansas City Chiefs, and again, I know that's his shtick, but saying he doesn't blame the interception from Devin Lloyd on Mahomes because Mahomes didn't see him. That's his job to see him. If Trevor Lawrence throws a pick six on Monday Night Football that a Chiefs linebacker returns at 99 yards, he's getting ridiculed to no end. Don't give me this nonsense about you don't blame Mahomes because he didn't see him. I mean, what is that all about?
Yeah, listen, Colin Cowherd talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars would be like me talking about splitting atoms.
Yeah.
All right? He has no knowledge of what is going on here in Duval. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, I was inside the locker room. Jonah Monheim, I went one-on-one with him. Also Hunter Long. Obviously, his role will be massively expanded with Brenton Strange going on IR. So you will hear both of those one-on-one conversations. Also, both Leon Searcy and Gerald Ingram tonight. A lot of Jaguar talk.
Ooh, heavy pack show. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
Tomorrow night, we're on the road. Palm Valley, running on the bridge there. God, I'm trying to remember the name of the street. Runs right towards the beach through Nocatee. Might be Palm Valley Road. I'm not even sure. But those folks in that neck of the woods, okay, we'll be out there 6 to 8. Going to be a big event. Already looking forward to that. It's only 22 hours away. Folks, that'll do it. Thank you to Niall Lawrence Stample. Thank you to John Osher. Again, tomorrow night, 6 to 8 out of Palm Valley. Friday, 4 to 6 on 1010 only during high school football. That's Friday, 4 to 6 o'clock on 1010. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. I am Rick Ballou. Have yourself a great night.
Hayes Carline is our special agent. He goes into the locker room to uncover insights